Welcome back to Bible class, everyone. I'm so excited tonight to see you. This makes 2 years for us to have been on YouTube, and so we're having a special celebration with balloons back here. And at the very end, if you watch until the very end, I am going to show you some real palm leaves that I found today, and they're in water in the other room, so I'll take you in there and show you what they really look like. If you go to church Sunday this week, it's called Palm Sunday. And I'm going to link our triumphal entry that we did back last year on this same week, where Thane rode the donkey. That was one of my favorite Bible classes. We smelled a dead chicken out at the farm. We got the pet baby kangaroos. And that still is one of my very top, if not the most favorite, it's one of the favorites that we've done. Well, Easter's coming, and if you have the normal things in your Easter eggs that we have at our house, we sometimes have plastic eggs, and we find chocolates and all good kinds of things, but sometimes there's some candies you may not want, like maybe Nerds. Maybe they have food coloring or they bother your teeth. Don't throw them away. Or maybe you got jelly beans like I got. These are trick jelly beans. They taste like salsa and guacamole and tacos. And at the very end, I'm gonna let Mr. David taste some of those and let's see what he thinks. He may think they're gonna be yummy, but they're not. Let's see if that makes him laugh, okay? That'll be a good trick. But if you have some of these kinds of things at your house and you think, oh, I would never eat those, I'm just gonna throw these away, let me show you a really neat little trick. If you put jelly beans or Nerds in the box inside there, inside of any egg, you kind of have a little egg shaker. I'll tell you what, it's going to work best with jelly beans. Let's try that. It does smell terrible. You don't have to put very many. It might even work with sweet tarts or anything you can think of that's hard. And then you could glue your eggs together if you want to with epoxy glue. Now listen to this one. That's a great little egg shaker. And we can make a lot of those for Bible class. We're always looking for ways to sing rhythmic songs like Ho 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 Hosanna. That song, we could have done those with egg shakers. I'm gonna see what this right here, if this will work. Let's put the blue Nerds in the blue egg. Take them out of the box. I wonder if this will work. I've never done it or never tried it before. Oh, it's a chicken. See the chicken? And we could sing like that at class. Have you ever done that before? I never did. I have never done that. What kind of other things does the Easter Bunny put in your box, in your bucket? We never had an Easter Bunny when I was little. We got to hunt eggs, but we never had an Easter basket except for one time. I think this would be a really neat little gift to put in a basket. The story of how God gave us Easter. I got these at the Dollar Tree. Story of David and Goliath. Do you remember we talked about that story? And this is a pop-up book for just $1. Each page has a little pop-up. Oh, there's that giant Goliath laying in the grass. And this is, which one do you think this storybook is? Do you see the lions? Is that Daniel in the lion's den? That cost $1 at the Dollar Tree too. This time of year, you can find a lot of good Bible storybooks pretty cheaply. For Easter baskets. That's what my grandchildren may end up getting. Don't tell them. I want to show you something that came in our mail today. If you look way down in there, you can see that those are caterpillars. And they're already starting to make some kind of a web. Can you see that? And in just a few days, a few weeks really, they'll turn into butterflies. One of my favorite things in the springtime is when the butterflies come out. Do you remember the very first Bible class that we had long ago? I showed you these. It's been 2 years ago since I got these butterflies out. And I had to even put batteries in one because that didn't work. Aren't they pretty? And God made these butterflies. He makes all things new, doesn't he? Those are so pretty. Well, tonight, I haven't told anyone what our story is going to be about. I mailed out a few little nieces and nephews some crafts to do, and they don't even know what the story's about. This is a little church. Some of them have been painting churches. I know Jovi painted this one. And I think Hunter picked these out at Lowe's. They're little coin banks. And so she hasn't even gotten to do hers yet, but she will. And Lily and Ezra made their coin banks. You'll see that tonight on our video too, but they don't know what the story's about. Can you guess what the story would be about coins and a church or a temple? Can you guess what that story would be? Well, you'll see in just a few minutes. This is something that I've had for a long time. Do you see that old monk? I guess he's holding a Bible. That was my bank long ago. His hair looks like Elisha's hair that Mama Dean told us about last week. Do you remember that story? And that's where I kept all of my money safe. My grandmother taught me to value money. My grandmother priest gave me all of these old coins. Anytime she found a coin, she saved it. And I was too young to know to take care of all my coins. So let me show you what happened to this. It's a very, very old $5 bill. Signed by some of our relatives. But I tore it. Do you see that? The 5 is taken off. It was in an envelope and I opened it up and I just ripped it off, ripped the corner off accidentally. Have you ever learned to take care of your money and put it in a bank and save your money? I have a Mr. Owl bank here tonight. Let me find him. And I'm going to use these Easter eggs to tell the story. Let's see what his name is. Wise Owl Teaching Bank. Oh, Ezra's going to love this. He loves owls. Do you see my bank? It has 3 slots. 1, 2, 3. One is for, let's see what it says. One slot is to save, one is to spend, and one is to share. So let's play a game. Let's put the bank right there so you can see its 3 slots. Right there. Okay, let's open up this one. Okay. And this egg is 10 cents. It's called a dime. Can you say dime? See all those little dimes in my hand? They're very little and they're silver and round. I'm gonna put one in the owl to save, one to spend on something I really want, and one to share. In this very tiny egg, let's see what I have. Shiny, tiny, little bitty coins. Do you know what those are? Did I hear someone say a penny? That's right. Whew, we have to save a long time to make these buy anything. One is to save, one is to spend, and one is to share. Now let's see what I have left here. Big, shiny quarters. If you look really closely on there, you might see George Washington's face. One to save, one to spend, and one to share. You remember when we talked about George Washington? Mr. David dressed up like George Washington like this. That's George Washington's face on a quarter. This is a quarter. Most of you know that now. And the last one I have are nickels. Let's find what a nickel looks like. It's silver like the quarter, but it's not as big. One to save, one to spend, and one to share. Oh, Do you know what the dollar bill looks like? That also has George Washington's face on it. Both the dollar bill and the quarter have George Washington's face on it. Well, we're starting to learn a little bit about money, aren't we? Do you want to see my church? If you look down inside there, you'll see the pews. Nobody's sitting on those, are they? It's empty. Do you see the preacher back here talking about Jesus, telling stories about Jesus? No one's there. But do you know that on Easter Sunday, I bet it'll be filled up. It may even be filled up tomorrow. And if you come to our church, I hope you stop by and say hello to us if you see us. We will be there. And I know a lot of people will be going back on Easter. When we go to church, we pass around money baskets like this. Have you ever seen the basket come by? Have you ever put money down in the basket to give to God? A long time ago, people didn't go to church. They went to a temple and they put their money in a box like this. And if people had a lot of money and they put it in, whoo, that sounded like a lot of money. People felt very important if they could put a lot of money in the box. And Jesus told a story one time about a lady who didn't even have very much money at all in her purse. She only had 2 small coins. Do you see those, how tiny they are? They're called mites. I don't know if you've ever felt one before, but that's what it looked like, just like that. And she put her money in the box. Maybe it didn't make much sound at all. And everybody knew she was poor. She didn't have nice clothes. She might have been hungry. We don't know, but we know that she gave everything she had to Jesus in that box. And Jesus said, even though she just had 2 tiny coins and everybody else had a lot of money, the lady had given more. The poor woman had given more than all the rest when she put her money in the box. Jesus said she gave all that she had. That was a good thing. She shared her money with God and Jesus. Jesus said she did well. She pleased God. What are some things you can share and give? Do you know of anything you have to share? I have a friend named Jana, and we're going to see if she wants one of these balloons tomorrow. Would that surprise her and make her happy? Have you ever shared a balloon with someone who's sick? Jana's sick. I want to show you. Have you ever had a bag of vanilla wafers or cookies? Look down in there. There are so many. And I have a little book here that was one of my children's favorite books. It's about Johnny. It's called Johnny's Cookies. Uncle gave a bag of good cookies to Johnny. To whom? Not mother, not father, but Johnny. Johnny gave one to the tired postman. Who did? Not mother, not father, but Johnny. Johnny gave one to the paper boy. Who did? Not mother, not father, but Johnny. Johnny gave one to the girl next door. Who did? Not mother, not father, but Johnny. Then there were only 3 cookies left. One for mother, one for father, and one for Johnny. He just saved one for himself. That was really a sharing boy. And somebody said, it's fun to give. Who said it? It was Johnny. So somebody pleased the dear Lord Jesus. It was Johnny. He was a good sharing boy, wasn't he? Have you ever shared your toys? This is my favorite book ever, and I have waited to do this lesson until I could find this. My sister, Matilda, made it for my children. And it was one of their favorite things to make out of felt. It's called the Widow's Mite. Once there was a widow who had no husband, no family. But she did have Jesus, and she was happy because he loved her. She was very poor. The widow had only one dress to wear. Look at that dress. She lived all alone in a teensy tiny house. In her closet was only one pair of shoes and an old worn out purse. Do you see that green purse? In her purse was all the money she had left in the whole world. It was just 2 mites. Let's see if I can find those. Just 2 coins. You see those coins? A mite is the smallest money there is. It's even smaller than a penny. Some days when her work was all done, she would think about how she was going to spend her money. What would you do with the 2 coins if that's all you had? Would you buy a beautiful pair of shoes? Would you buy a fancy, shiny new dress? There were other days she thought about pretty things for her hair. This is a barrette that she wanted to buy. Let's see if I can get it to stay in the book. She didn't buy the barrette. She didn't buy fancy bows, did she? She didn't go to the grocery store and buy bunches and bunches of food for a grocery haul. She didn't even buy candy for herself. Her own little house only had 1 room. What about buying a bigger house? McKenna colored that when she was little. She thought of buying jewelry or a phone or toys or teddy bears, but she did not. The widow loved Jesus so much, and he had been good to her. She knew someday he would let her be in heaven forever. No one could give a gift that big. The widow then thought about her 2 mites. She decided to go to church and give her 2 coins in the box at church to Jesus because he had been the biggest gift of all. He was the one who had saved her and kept her from being lonely. She talked to him in prayer. That was the best book ever. The end. Okay, our Bible class had this lesson last Sunday, and Mr. David and I took coins for everyone to taste. They all had a milk chocolate coin to eat. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. Okay, let's sneak in the other room and see those palm branches. Are you ready? Okay, let's see if Mr. David will eat those yucky, stinky, rotten jelly beans. Okay, here are our palm branches. These are real. They've been in water, so they look nice and green. And the children put them on the ground to make a soft road for the donkey and for Jesus. And they even put some of their coats on top of them. So that's perfect for Palm Sunday, isn't it? All right, let's get Mr. David over here and see if he likes some of my good jelly beans I bought him for Easter. Come on over here, Mr. David.
I love jelly beans.
Which is your favorite color?
Favorite color?
We have red.
Oh, I love red. I like strawberry and cherry.
We have green.
Ooh, I love lime.
Okay, let's see if I can't find you a green or a red.
Green or red, my favorites.
Here's you a red jelly bean. See the red one?
Oh, yeah.
See if you love that.
Think it's going to be strawberry or cherry? I think there's something wrong with it.
Does it taste like salsa?
Yeah, it tastes like a taco.
Let's see if you like this brown one. See.
Is this chocolate? I love chocolate.
It's probably beef taco.
Beef taco? Oh.
Okay, we have one more flavored. Would you like to try this lovely lime green?
I don't know.
Does it taste like guacamole or?
Yeah, it tastes like guacamole.
Wait, you haven't tasted the white ones. Let's see what this.
Oh, is that coconut? I love coconut. Vanilla.
What does that say? Horchata? Horchata? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. David and I did a special thing one Sunday. Do you remember when we took the Lowe's buckets and we went to shop for the people who were having a war?
Right.
What's the name of that country? Do you remember?
Ukraine?
The Ukraine people. Some of them speak English, even though they live far away. Some of them are Christians, and they're having a lot of hardship in their country, aren't they? And it's sad, so we decided to send some things for the children. Do you remember what we bought for the children?
We bought for the children, we bought crayons and glue and pads to draw on and coloring books.
That's right. And we sent a lot of that. What kind of other supplies did we buy for the older people?
Shampoo and soap and Band-Aids and medicine, washcloths.
It took a long time to get all those things in the bucket, didn't it?
It did. We didn't even fit it all in.
We couldn't fit everything in. We couldn't fit in two of the biggest things. But our church partnered with someone who shipped it over to the Ukraine, and we've been praying for them. All right. Well, thank you for joining our Bible class. Mr. David and I have had fun the last 2 years doing this. And we're going to end up outside on the deck. Since this is our last Bible class, we're going to end up where we started, which is out on the deck. So a long time ago, we came out here and we did God Made Spring for our very first lesson. I'm going to get these little boats for Eva. She's our 7th grandchild, and I hope if she gets those in her little Easter basket that she'll learn about Jesus on the seashore. Do you remember the times that we talked about all the fish in the water? These are really just pool toys, but I thought they would be pretty in our water out here as we remembered some of the lessons we learned about fish. Do you remember any of the lessons we talked about fish, Mr. David?
There was the feeding of the 5,000.
Yeah, where they had how many fish and how many loaves of
2
bread?
loaves and 5 fishes.
So they fed all the
5 loaves and 2 fishes. Yeah, they had 5 loaves and 2 fishes.
You're the one who's supposed to know that.
Well, now I've got them both ways and we can edit as needed.
No, you have to know. How many was it? They wouldn't have had 5 fish.
Right,
You told me how you remember it. It's by
5 loaves and 2 fishers.
fishers. So what is it?
5 loaves and 2 fishes.
Okay, so they fed the 5,000 with just 2 little fish. And so I'm going to take the boats out. And the last thing we're going to do before we say goodbye is we're going to float our froggies, because this has been the frog class for the last 2 years at church. We've been trying to teach the same lessons that we taught for our froggies. Swim, swim, little froggies. They haven't been in the water for a long time. If you want to stop by and see us at church, we'll be in the frog class and teaching in there sometimes and always preparing their lessons. So I hope you come back and see us. Bye-bye. What is it? What are you putting in your bank, Lily?
This is a penny.
Is that a penny? What do you put in your bank, Ezra?
I don't know. I have pennies and all of them. But the one I have the most pennies. I got pennies the most. I got pennies.
Okay, I have a question. Whose picture is on, who's on the front of the quarter? Can you remember?
Yes.
Who?
It's Lincoln. Me.
Who?
It's Lincoln.
On the quarter.
Yes. Oh, I mean George.
George Washington's on the quarter and Abraham Lincoln's on the penny. That's right. Y'all know that now.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln is on the little shiny penny. George Washington's on the great big one. Look, Joby.
Where's the dog?
Look, Joby. It says $2.25.
In.
Okay, Fane's turn.
It doesn't say that. It's already. You get it? Yeah. Okay, click start. I put my Fame had $2.60.
Whoa!
Coins in this.
Okay, Dustin. See if you have more than the rest of them. Momentary delay. One penny didn't go through. I guess it was messed up. Woo! Thafter has over $2.
Attention, rejected coin in English. Okay, so I'm going to put my pennies in here and then I'll count them and I'm going to see if I have $2.
How many do you think you have?
Probably around 250.
250?
Okay, start. That was close.
You're close. You all have over $2.
$2.54.
That's a lot.
I got $2.90.
How much
I got
did you?
$2.60.
Whoa!
$2 and
Did you get a quarter? What change?
she got $2.25.
25. $2.25. Good. Y'all all got over $2.
You ready, Debbie?
Dot likes to explore, so I'm just letting her run around on the plane.
Does it
How about
tickle?
we actually put her in the ball so she can actually explore?
I got fuzz in my hair.
Okay, Dot, how about we put her in the ball so
Do you like it?
Wow, she likes you, Jovi.
Be real careful with the ball, boys, so it doesn't squish their toes.
Wait, don't squish
Listen,
her,
if you're
Jovi.
putting her in the ball,
Do you want me to put her back in the
ball?
There, she spilled.
Now, that's a good time to shut the ball. You like it, Jovi?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Yeah, but like she stored up all her food in her
Oh,
cheeks and
she's
just let
getting
it
her
out.
cheek, her food of. What does she have in there? Oh, she's pushing it around.
Now set it
She's
down.
pushing her cheek around.
After
Look at
set it
that.
down. Don't bring
She's
it
eating her
upstairs.
food that she stored. What's her name?
Her name's Emma, remember,
Well,
Jovi?
hello, Emma. You had a lot of food.
Ew, she's still spilling it. She had so much food. Here, can I?
Just drop it. Well, actually, no, it will get stuck.
Here we go.
She's down. Got her out. Please go in your favorite tube. Please go. When I want you to go in the tube, you won't. When I want you out, you won't come out. But when I want you in the tube, you won't go in the tube. But when you don't want her out, she goes out. You're going. There you go.
Okay, great. This is your trick you figured out. Go on in there, Dot.
She's smart. She might just go away. She sees my hand.
Yeah. Little Houdini is who got. Dot is a little Houdini. Dot may be pregnant.
Who Dottie?
Who Dottie? Good.
I think Buck's here.
Now we've got 2 out. That's about all we can watch at once, especially if we. Oh. Dot is a little bit
There's Buck.
thinner and smaller than Buck.
Yeah.
There's Buck, the big
Other
fat
than being
booty
really
pants.
smart and trying to escape, she's really nice. So is Buck.
Mm-hmm. They're both really great hamsters. I'm
Hunter
glad you.
poops on her hand.
You can see his little nose peeking out right
Sometimes
there. He's in
sometimes he
cardboard
pokes
house.
his little mouth out right here.
I see
They
that.
kind of like this tent area too.
Because they go under it and they like to just sleep in it.
Well, that's fascinating, boys. Thank you for sharing that
guess
with
what?
Bible class.
If you turn this around like this, then they can just go in here and sleep right here.
Oh, how cool, Thane. You worked hard on that. That's great.
They're having lots of fun crawling around.
Okay, boys, how old are you?
8 and 10.
Okay, well, y'all been part of Bible class for 2 years now. Thank you very much. Thank you for helping, boys.
They're both in the cardboard house now.
Can you say you're welcome?
You're welcome.